Hello, everyone, and welcome to PAX Area Gaming. This is your host, Reg, and we are at the start of the... Actually, not the start. We're midway through the penultimate chapter of Black Myth Wukong.
这脚镣虫儿自收好，倒是自有用处。
哥哥长，哥哥短，我好生陪着你的哥哥来这里。
So we're about to meet
有见母亲的芭蕉扇去救
Queen
我。
Rakshasa.
救！火焰山这场劫，一柄扇子，怕是救不了。母亲，母亲，女儿求求你了，再这么拖下去，哥哥的凶行一发，父王怕是必死无疑啊！你是当真关心那放荡老牛？别以为做娘的不知你那点小心思。难保不是盼望我们都气死了，好与你哥哥在这山中逍遥快活。母亲冤枉！若不是心忧父王安危，我何苦找到上仙一起来这里央求？狐狸精就是狐狸精。我看你只想骗去芭蕉扇。
This is an interesting exchange. I want to talk over it.
我是父王的亲生骨肉，承蒙母亲不弃，才得以苟活至今。哥哥待我再好，又怎比得上双亲的天恩呢？扇子的事我意已决，当时多造的孽缘，如今不配自怜。反倒是你，挑这个时候来，是何缘由啊？
师姐，这是你的家事，为界外人，本不便智慧。但平儿找到我，说天命人已经到了火焰山。
These are all people that
天命，
Sun Wukong
乖乖
and
听老天命
Bajie
令。
have met in the past.
这个老不死，名字起得倒怪传神的。
他的真实来历，你我皆知。届时，你的儿女也好，丈夫也罢，连上这罗刹宝地，
And of course,
都
that
难
means
逃
they're
灰
either
飞
gods
烟灭。
or immortals.
一颗身不由己的棋子来了又有何惧？我说老牛与孩儿，我那芭蕉扇也不是吃素。
他前脚得知身世，天命人后脚就到，两事同时发生，师姐，不觉得诡异吗？
绅士？什么绅士？你们在说谁？
我听闻剩余几个遗物，都已落入天命人之手。师姐，事已至此，你还不明白吗？是谁让他回来的？那些东西当真是修炼至宝？只怕我们一个个自作聪明，到头来反倒成了助他还魂的祭品。我不在意别人死活，我从来都只在意你一个人。不如我们两个一起走吧。当年在上面我如何待你，今后也会如何待你。
师弟，到了这种时候，竟只有你还挂念着我。我一下没了主意。来，坐上来，与我细说。母亲，不可信他，这厮面露奸相，定有轻薄之意。淫贼，我是白瞎了请你救人，你竟趁人之危，你敢！
长辈们说话，轮不到一个庶女弄舌。我与你母亲相识的时候，你那父王大约还套着牛梭子，不知在哪里离地呢。
淫贼下贱，母亲别信他。
一边清静清静。
So Uncle just pops her out of existence.
这才好些。
She's not
师
dead,
姐，
obviously.
下界之后，小仙还从没离你这么近过。
师弟，这些年其实我也很怀念宫里的日子。
这是何物？
猪蹄呀，还能是什么？再不醒醒，你要扑上来啃一口了！
杀我也，气杀我也！
Okay, so it wasn't Rakshasa after all. It was Bajie.
老朋友，见什么坏呢？
The real Rakshasa is around somewhere. We'll see her a little bit later.
我老猪也想念他紧呐！
狡猾东西，亏我一片诚心，竟着了你这恶心手段！
扯什么
I don't know
呢
where？she is. She's out trying to secure
老猪看不出是谁的杰
for the
作。
Bull King.
哟，神职，你也到了，正好正好，与叔叔一起会会这坏了钢城的滥淫贱货，灭除。
这么多年了，还是妖性难移。我这斗帅宫的无根水一旦落了地，看你还如何放肆！
And welcome to the next boss fight.
你等西行，
This one's a little strange. It has multiple
不
phases.
逃，还回来送死。
There's some parts where you actually fight him, and there are other parts where he sort of backs off, and then you have to fight some enemies that he conquers. None of his moves are devastating moves. I guess you could get stun locked while you're fighting. And you're hit by multiple of those objects that he throws out.
山野助倒你的。我求自行绑了拿住。
There are a lot of these little enemies, and you have to kill them all in order to for him to re-engage. And even though there are two types, one that spins this big weapon around, and the other one fires arrows at you or fires something at you. The ones that are shooting the arrows are relatively stationary. This is the last one. Once you take him out, yeah, the other guy will come back down. Bajie is keeping him occupied. Yeah, I don't know what these little white balls do. They will cover you in whatever that is. Maybe it slows you down, I'm not sure. But I try to not run through all of them, just in case they end up stopping. Yeah, they can. The effect doesn't last very long.
老猪收了你！
I'm not doing a good job of avoiding a lot of this stuff.
长修瞎练，自寻短见。
And who do we have here? Our... Not really him. I guess it's the spirit of Matiamba. Because we know he's trapped. Now, after this fight, we can go back to where he was trapped for a final bit of dialogue. I guess this means he's being controlled by that guy. And yeah, you don't want to get hit because he hits pretty hard. Thank goodness Bajie is distracting him. Okay, Bajie took him out. Now we enter the final phase of the fight.
天地之道，一升一降。今日就拿你这毛贼喂喂我的阴阳鱼。
这家伙
So
正
yeah,
我这
this
里
is one of those fights where you
这
want
么
to
条小鱼儿，
manage
还不
your
够请咱吃饭呢。
resources very well. And just to be on the safe side. Poor Bajie just got swallowed by that carp creature. And we fought one of these, or something like it, when Bajie transformed into one. So it has the same moveset. The only difference is this one turns white. Not quite sure what that does. Sort of like the white balls that you were running through earlier in the fight. That's a pretty big health pool, but you get a lot of hits in. And it does hit pretty hard if you get whacked by the tail. The planting fan is very helpful here because at least it allows you to keep you in one spot and get as much damage in as you can. I probably should have saved it for a later point in the fight. Sort of a rinse and repeat fight. He doesn't. Well, I was about to say he doesn't do anything different, but he does fly in the air and does this move. I wasn't very good at dodging all of those. I didn't try the staff spin to try to block them. Maybe that would have worked. I'm not sure. Those of you who played this. Some of you might have actually tried that move. If you have, let me know. Yeah, you don't want to do what I just did, which is to stand there and let him spray that mist all over him. Okay. Fight is over.
身世之谜已揭，
And he will not
红孩儿是不会
re-engage.
善罢甘休的。你眼里这地府天翻，不过是人家案板上一碗冷饭。
We will see him one more time, but we're not going to have to
这
fight
四
him
六
again.
啊，老朱才刚打了个盹儿，小小单童这等猖狂，以前也是个清白出身。说起来，都是大师兄造的孽。命不好就罢了，又爱上了不该爱的人。你从这边上去，看看有无通路，我再去四处找寻找寻。老娘虽然跑了，难说宝贝还在山内。
And there are a couple of items to get while we're here in the Emerald Hall. But before we do that, we're going to go back to complete Matiamba's quest. You can only complete it once you've gotten to this point in the game and fought his spirit or soul in the sequence we just saw. So we come back here to Furnace Valley. Kill the enemies as closest to Matiamba. And now he will die. He'll die. Yeah, you won't see him again. So he appeared in chapter 1. We saw him in chapters 2, 3, 4. Excuse me. So, with that done, we come back to Emerald Hall and we take on the meditation point. Once we do that, we can traverse our way through the remainder of the chapter. It's not a very long chapter, so everything is relatively contained. So the way forward, after you scope out what's in the Emerald Hall, which isn't a lot of things. You have the meditation point. You have that item. In a first playthrough, you have an item that would be on the throne, which would be straight ahead. It would be glowing if it were still there, but it's not. And there is a armor set that you can get as well. Actually, so there's quite a bit of stuff in this little room. I was just checking out the left side of the room. I thought there was a wisp over there, but I didn't see it. So the way forward is through the right side, facing away from the throne. couple of enemies. There's this mage guy. We've seen these guys before. And there's a bull guard. We've seen these guys before. So you're not going to see any new enemy types. And remember, there's still a couple of those carts that we were dealing with in the last episode that we have to deal with in this episode. I don't have fireproof mantle equipped, so I can be hurt by the fire. So once you take care of this guy, you can go forward. And you should be out of range of the lava that was being thrown at you. Right, that is the second to the last cart. And I realized I need to equip fireproof mantle. Re-equip it. I had it equipped earlier and then switched off in the last fight. The final cart is the most difficult one. This one's not that difficult. Yeah, not a difficult fight. It's our buddy that we reported to after the first 2 kills.
那个不孝子不知从哪儿听来些鬼话，竟在火焰山弄出
He's
这
going to
么
give
大
you a
动
little
静。
update. And then you're going to grab
为何任其摆布？
the wisp
凭他的本事，
on that
10个
branch.
红孩儿也不是对手。老大，
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. He doesn't disappear usually. Usually he just sort of walks off to the side, but for some reason
如同手足弟兄。
in the game he sort of disappeared and reappeared to finish his dialogue.
碧水金睛兽是老大王的心爱坐骑，如同手足弟兄，怎会不见了？
Okay, yep. So I grab this and then head off to our right and continue the pathway. Not an overwhelming number of enemies in this area. take this guy out. And we'll work our way up. There are a couple enemies that we saw earlier in this chapter as well that we'll see here. These little guys that explode if you don't take them out in one hit. I guess you can use thrust stance in this as well. We're going to continue working around the side of the ridge, and there are going to be a few more of these enemies, as well as one of the bigger ones. We're going to continue following this ridge. And we should be getting pretty close to the next shrine. So yeah, so we will rest at the shrine to sort of regain our resources. And it's a great place for a shrine. You'll see why coming up shortly. Okay, but before you continue going in the progression direction, go just behind the shrine, and you're going to fight a mushroom mini-boss. He's a little different from the other ones in that he can actually turn you into a mushroom. I don't think it makes you slower. I'm not quite sure what it does, but you end up looking funny for a while. Yeah, not a difficult fight, but still. And because you're close to a shrine, you may as well use whatever resources you need to use to defeat him. If you rest at the shrine, he won't come back. So nothing to worry about there. You're going to need everything you have in this little next area, so... Oh yeah, that's right. There's also a meditation point. And that's the Bull King that you see in the background. We'll be meeting him later in the chapter. Okay, so now we will continue making our way up this mountain. you reach a certain point, you'll see what happens. See the ball off to the left? It's going to come rolling down the hill past you. So what you want to do is dip into these little alcove areas where it can't hit you. It moves pretty fast, so you really need to gauge how far it goes and whether you should run behind it to get to the next safe area or wait for it to pass you coming back this way to get to the safe area. It really depends on the distance, because it's not always equal distance, and you'll always have an enemy in the alcove waiting to push you back out in front. So you can see where it stops here, and you have a longer run in the other direction. So what I would do is when it stops here, as soon as it begins to go back, take off. Right now. And this one's a longer run. And yes, you have these little rock flies to deal with as well. And they can push you in front of this rolling ball and it will kill you. It will one-shot you. No matter what your resources is. It doesn't matter what you do. Even if you're in Cloud Step, it'll still kill you. So the idea is not to get hit. You can use Cloud Step because it may be a little quicker, but you can only do that a couple of times. So yeah, you're gonna hang a left here. That's the only side that's safe. If you try to go to the right side, you'll die. Okay, seeing where he is. As soon as he rolls past me, I'm going to take off because it's a longer run this time. Right now, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. And we're going to stop here. The wisp tells us that this is a safe area, otherwise it wouldn't be there. And as you can see, this boulder rolling thing is adjusting. So the next time, once you pass this spot, it'll roll further up. But since I didn't take off immediately, I needed to wait for it to reset. And I see a rock wide up there that I want to avoid. So I decided let's use Cloud Step so it can't see me. And the safe place is off to the right. I think that might be the longest section run. And then we have this boss. It can also push you into the path of the ball. And you have a chest. I think my first time, in my first playthrough, it took me forever to make it up this. So. And if you die, you have to go all the way back to the beginning of the hill and work your way back up. And it's a little bit hard to figure out where to rest. I think it's going to be... Let's see. I didn't take off immediately, so I figured I'd wait. Not now. It's really nerve-wracking because you don't want to die. So you're trying to figure out what's the best way to do this. And looks like it's equal distance, so either way looks like it could work. There's going to be another rock Y over here. As long as you're out of the not rock Y, that fireworm thing. And the safe spot is a little bit more difficult to see once we're here, because it's around this little outcrop. Yeah, I don't know what I was doing. I think I was trying to use Cloud Step. Yeah, fireproof mantle isn't going to help you here. Like I said, if you get hit, it's a one-shot, you die. Yeah, you want to find this edge right there. And when he killed that Rakshasa, he broke through the next section, which is also a bit of a long run. And you can see it stops like right near you, so you really need to take off right behind it. So it's going to stop right there. As soon as it takes off is when you should run. Full disclosure, I died, so that's why you see this strange cutscene. And if you guys wanted to see me traverse this whole thing all over again. The good thing is, like, the Rakshasa will run out in the middle of the road and get killed. The other enemies don't really go into the middle of the road. You can hit one of them into the road. Okay, so the next one is going to be off to the right. Next safe space will be off to the right. Okay, and there's a, I think, final safe space coming up. Time my run perfectly. Okay. That actually wasn't the final. That's the second to the final. Okay, you'll know this terrifying ordeal is over when she pops back up. She apparently has stolen her adopted mother's planting fan.
小狐狸，这当真是芭蕉扇？
放心放心，母亲曾教过我使用口诀，一扇下去便知真假。
那老牛哼哼的十分虚怯，估着只剩半口气了。
You can see
老
that
朱
the
姑
gold
且
king
信你一次，
is injured.
尽点力气挡住那铁球，你趁机使出扇子。
猪八戒皮糙肉厚，死不掉的。猴哥哥，先随我一起去救夫妻要紧。
Okay, so we're going to continue to make our way. We're assuming that Bajie will be all right. Let's snag this wisp. So, because of the events that just happened, a new pathway has opened up for us that we couldn't explore before because of the fire. And that new pathway will take you to the secret area of this chapter. And if you continue forward, you'll be heading towards the boss area, the final chapter boss area. So you don't want to do that. So you want to go back. It can be a little confusing trying to figure out, okay, is this the area? Because it was all covered in fire. So the first boss you're going to face that you couldn't face before is another one of the rock bosses. But before you do that, you want to grab this item, this vine. Of course, this rock guy's going to wake up. I think he thinks he plays in the NBA. Take him out. And then you want to grab the vine. And then, as you approach, this boss will appear, and so will some Rockwise. Several of these type of bosses, so you can move very fast. They don't have a huge health pool, so not that difficult. It's interesting when the Rockwise start jumping around. They sort of get in your way if you take the big guy out first. The Rockwise should be easy to take out. Okay, and now we can absorb the spirit. We're going to be making our way to an area called the Cooling Slope. Interestingly, the shrine is rather far, considering you have to fight that boss and another boss and some minor enemies before you get to it. So while the game is usually generous with shrines, in this particular instance, there's a little bit of a gap between the two. And there are now a lot of other enemies, but it does mean you'll be sort of fighting without resources. I guess if you died during that fight, no, the same thing. No, not the same thing, because you wouldn't have to fight that mini boss we just got through fighting again. So I guess that would be the difference. We could have gone back to Ashen Pass 3 and worked our way back up the hill again. Ashen Pass 3 is where the mushroom creature fought us before the rolling ball. Because I have no mana left, I wouldn't be able to call upon the pluck of many or any of the other spells that I could use. So there are lots of these little lava worms, and their mother is the boss of this area. So it just makes sense to set up, and there's a chest too. That's the only reason to really come over here to grab the chest. It makes sense to get rid of all of these guys first. It doesn't matter because she's going to produce them again anyway, but still, And if you don't kill them, they'll start, shooting at you while you're trying to, get her to activate. And she won't appear unless you approach a particular spot on the ground. That spot, right up there. I'm just checking to make sure all of them are gone. All right, let's go grab the chest now. If I manage to die, I don't have to worry about it again. Okay, now we can go back and approach the spot on the ground. So having fireproof mantle is important here because she's a fire-based boss that uses lots of fire. And when she summons her little babies back, they also will shoot fire at you. So I figure let's go with some enhancements, damage reduction, and more damage output. So she doesn't have a huge health pool, but because you're dealing with the little ones and you're dealing with fire, you really want to take them out as soon as you can. So as fast as you can, just do it. Otherwise, eventually, they could whittle you down a little bit. I don't remember. She wasn't all that difficult in my first playthrough either. But still, you had to deal with it. It probably took me a lot longer to beat her in the first playthrough. This is going well. In the second playthrough, I think it went well as well. I'm not doing a good job because I usually, once she disappears again, I run around, kill all the babies again. She'll show up again, and then I'm only dealing with her and not her and her own version of Pluck of Many. And because there's so many of them, you can actually build up really good focus so that when she reappears, you should be able to get off a very, very strong move. And you should be able to do that a couple of times. It doesn't look like I'm going to need to do that because she's almost dead. And if you didn't have Fireproof Mantle on, that blast would have killed you. And as you can see, I'm having to drink from the gourd in order to not die because of all of the fire that's being thrown my way. And when she dies, this time her babies will die as well. So yes, you get her spirit. I don't think I ever used that one. Actually, most of them I never used. There are quite a few. Wandering White I use more than anything else. Apramana Bat I'll use probably the second most. I tried out some of the other ones to see whether or not they're situational, because you do get certain buffs when you have them. Not necessarily when you use them, but if you just have it equipped, you will get certain buffs. Most of them. The reason for using Wandering White, other than the fact that the headbutt is pretty effective, is that it gives you a huge boost in defense. And since I'm terrible at fighting in these games, defense is key. You see this little guy as you're making your way down the cooling slope. You'll see this guy off to your left. A little tanky, but it shouldn't be shouldn't have too much trouble. He's guarding a chest. And he will respawn. So when you eventually make your way to the cooling slope shrine, and do the stuff that you're going to do down there before working your way back up, he'll be back. You have a few of these rock-wide enemies, and you can usually get the jump on them. There are a couple more of them. This is the cooling slope shrine. And so there are a couple of reasons we're coming here. It's not just, oh, well, you know, we're just exploring. The final cart, I think it's the final cart, is in this section. And the secret area is in this section as well. Yeah, it's the final cart. So there are, I don't know what I was doing. There are two enemies before you get to the cart. They're basic rock-wise. And since they're taking an afternoon nap, it's easy to get the jump on them. Now you can see our buddy, who was sort of, we were reporting back to, has been injured by the final cart. And this one has a slightly different moveset. Uses, all of them use fire, but this one seems to have more fire. I totally missed the head right there. This one also moves faster than the other ones. That's that one. Yeah, that's this very devastating grab move. Jesus, I'm getting more by this guy. So I decided to turn into a stone monkey. Get a little bit of damage in before turning back, because he was just spamming me with the slap moves. Yeah, and I never had enough focus points to really do a lot of damage with the Storm Monkey. Mainly because I'm just using the light attacks. And of course, looks like I'm missing quite a few. He's being sort of hyper aggressive. Finally able to heal fully. I could just get a couple of you got me panic rolling all over the place. Knocked me out of my animation for the next heavy attack. I missed the second heavy attack. Ooh, heavy. I can just get close enough to hit him. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that was probably one of the more panic-filled mini-boss fights. You just moved all over the place very fast. Can pick you up, can burn you. So you want to go over and talk to your buddy. He's being dragged to the very end.
牛魔王仁义无双，侍奉他我心甘情愿，唯独辜负了大哥，他交给我的差事办砸了。为了那孽畜，老大王定是做了什么蠢事。这个秘密恐怕都在那扇门后面。 那小小鬼车不在话下，老子是故意让他记仇。你是个顶好的猴头，但千万不要生本逐末。
Wow. I missed that one. He was pretty cool. Okay, so the way forward is the secret area, but because I don't have any mana or anything left, I'm making the strategic decision to go back to the shrine, recoup my resources, and then come back. I don't know why I didn't just fast travel there. That was his little run back. It was a little nuts. Yeah, not sure. I guess it wasn't thinking clearly. That didn't make any sense. The secret area isn't very large. It's large enough to have 2 shrines, but not very large. one shrine is the shrine that's right outside the boss door. The other one is before that. This is Bishu Cave, the secret area of Chapter 5. So the way forward is that giant staff that's coming out of the ground. But before we do that, there is a frog boss that we have to take care of. We fought these guys in every chapter as well. This one is a fire-based one. So we fought a lightning-based one, a poison-based one. This one's fire. In keeping with the theme of the chapter, of course. But we learned how to fight them. Right? You use Bucket Mini. You can use mobilize and get a lot of damage in. That's the only thing here. There's nothing else down there. So the goal is to approach this item and you'll be transported to the main part of the secret area of the game. The secret area of Chapter 5. We go through this tunnel. I think there are two of these guys at the entrance. Sort of minor versions of some of the bull guards we fought before. And take this one out before we grab the wisp. And now we can grab this. I'm going to bump into a few more enemies and a mini boss. I don't know which one comes up first. Okay, these enemies. In the chest. Yeah, there are not a lot of enemies in this secret area. And they're spaced out well enough, except in one part. There's a group of them, but for the most part, they're spaced out pretty well. So you can grab this chest before we progress. And the way forward is through the next boss. But first, things first. So there's the perch pit, and I think there's one other shrine, but we're gonna... Actually, before we go down there, we can go off to the right and contemplate what's about to happen. And it's a very vast cave area. There's not a lot in here. You have the meditation point. I don't believe there's anything else. I know there's a chest in another part of the cave, but I don't think it's here. Yeah, may as well use the sparks that I have. Okay. So when you're good here, it's when you drop down into the arena that the bosses will appear. But I see a wisp. And so once you drop down, the only way to progress is to defeat the bosses, and then you'll be able to progress. You can't hop back up from where you drop down. This was the annoying ball that Bajie was fighting on the hill.
糊涂了。夫人交代我俩守住，你管他丑不丑？闯进来的，只管杀。
They work for the Rakshasa. Interesting. Early in the game, they were all single bosses. Later in the game, quite a few of these dual bosses. So if you use Pillar Stance, fully maxed out, with fully maxed stamina, they really can't do anything to you, which means you can wait till they get close and hit them. It seems to be the most effective way of handling them. I tried using Smash Dance, but they keep knocking me out of the Smash Dance. As I'm trying to build up focus, they'll hit me and then I have to start all over again. I didn't try Thrust Dance. Maybe I should have, since they tend to come at you. And while it would seem rational to take on one at a time, and I think you can do that for most of the fight because one will hang back a little bit. Like this one I'm doing. But then, you know, they will guess you're keeping an eye on him. He will eventually come back to protect his lady friend. And she'll do the same thing. So whoever's closest to you, you just whittle their health down. That's the way. And you can see that they're like equal at this point. But I haven't been able to focus on just one of them. Now this one stays there. I should be able to get a good hit. Yeah, occasionally they'll do this stupid move. Apparently I couldn't figure out how to stay out of the way of it. The reward for defeating this boss is to absorb the spirit, and I will say that it's a decent spirit. It'll do that bounce move and hit, target and hit your enemy, I think it's 4 times. No matter who the enemy is. So if it's a tough boss you're fighting, I was wandering right, if you miss the headbutt, then you've missed the headbutt. But this one, it will actually hit 4 times. I'm not sure it does more damage than wandering right, but I'm not sure. I guess I can go back and look at my footage to see, but because I tried using them in certain fights. Yeah, sometimes they'll pull the half ball over themselves, so you can't really do any damage when they do that. But it's okay, because you just focus on the other one. Yeah, that was not a good dodge on my part. That was good. Okay, so one of them's down. Now I just have to get the lady one. It's a lot easier when you only focus on one versus having to worry about where the other one is. So let's pull out Star Monkey and see if we can end this madness. Okay, they're not dead. All right. But they're vanquished. We won't see them again, but they've yielded the passage, so I can now move forward. Yeah, there are a couple of these guys. there's one right here. There are two on the other side. But we're gonna take him out and hopefully not die. We can. The wisp will give us some health back in our gourd. Yep, there we go. Now we can. There's an item over here. I don't remember what it was, but probably something to increase strength, stamina, or mana. Right, these two guys aren't very difficult. Continue to make our way through. There is a slide down that we have to deal with, but not yet. Okay, so there are not 2 shrines, 3 shrines in this secret area. This one is the cave depths. And there are quite a few of the full guard guys here. So you're going to take these, I think there are 4 of them. There are 3 that will sort of chase you a little ways. There is one that's going to be off to your right, and then there's the, I guess, captain at the very end. There's also a shrine down, not a shrine, a chest down there. So we're going to take care of all of this. We're going to take care of these guys. Smash Dance works because they'll come up to about this space, giving you the ability to hit more than one at a time. You just keep doing that, and eventually these 3 will die. Yeah, they're not very difficult enemies. It's just this is the most number of them that we faced at one time. We can grab this. You don't really need it. There is the chest off to the left, and there's a guy who's another one of the regular guys who's off to the right side. You don't want to fight them both, so you would rather take them one at a time, but apparently Captain Guy saw me. And so, yeah, it doesn't look like he's following me. So we want to just run up, take this guy out, and then we can go and deal with the captain. Or general, or whatever his rank is. I don't know what he is. uses the spirit that we can absorb. The actual boss of the secret area is a bit of a menace. He can be a really difficult boss, but there's a way to make it slightly easier. Okay, so there are going to be two more guys straight ahead. There's a wisp here. There's a chest below those guys. And then there's the way forward to the secret area boss. So first things first is we take these guys out. A little bit beefier than the guys we fought in the early part of the secret area. Yep. It's good having immobilized. It can immobilize an area instead of just one person. Okay, so the chest is going to be off to the right, down below. So we can get that chest and then hop back up. Okay, so now we have a one-way trip. Actually, not yet. So we grab this chest. And then we have a one-way trip. In the final shrine of the secret area. Corridor of Fire and Ice. The reason for the name is because you don't have to, but you can actually fight the boss in fire and or in ice. Actually, I think it's always going to start out in fire, but you can start out in fire and then move to an icy area, but you can't start out in the ice and move to the fiery area. So you will always start out in the fiery area. The way to get to the other area is during the fight, have him hit that wall of ice behind, straight ahead. If he breaks that wall, you can run through. He can't get through, but he'll figure out a way to get around to the other side. The benefit of doing that is, I was trying to hop back up because in an earlier playthrough, I actually ended up cheesing the guy by hopping back up and using the quest dance to kill him. But I guess they must have patched that at some point. It was good because he couldn't reach me. I guess he can throw fire at you, and so if you didn't dodge, you can get hit. He's a very aggressive, hyper-aggressive boss. He uses lots of fire. He will throw things at you. The floor is covered in lava, so fireproof mantle is what you're going to use. The other vessels aren't really helpful in this fight. So, anti-fan isn't helpful. The needle isn't helpful. The wind tamer isn't helpful. So he did break the wall, so I can go through. And the next area is an area that's not going to be covered in fire. Let's grab this. So that's the benefit of fighting in this area versus the other. I mean, the other area, there's a lot of fire that you'd be fighting in. And even though you have the fireproof mantle, it's just overwhelming. In this area, you don't have that to deal with. I mean, you have ice, but I think fire is more dangerous. So you can see he's found his way over here. And so we're going to find our way down to him and fight him on better terms than we would have in the other area. I mean, you don't have to. You could complete the fight in the other area. You don't have to come to this area to fight him. Wasted valuable time with my pluck of mini by not having the right stance equipped. This with the wandering white headbutt. Not a good start. Yeah, you can avoid that by just staying out of the radius of that particular attack. If you were in the other arena, he'd be doing the same thing with fire instead of ice. It's easier to see what's going on in this fight than in the other side. Some fire all over the place is really difficult to get. Moves around quite a bit. He repeats a lot of the same stuff, so he doesn't really do anything different. He can be stunned. If you can stay behind him, or at least his right flank, you'd be okay. You don't want to be standing right in front of him, because you'll take a lot of damage. Like I say, he moves around quite a bit. You have to be a little patient. You can do damage or you just chip away at his health. He's a boss, so he's got health, but It's not like he's 4 phases or anything like that, so you don't have that to worry about. We have my 4 focus point heavy attack that I was planning. So it probably works best if I equip something that allows me to build and focus pretty quickly. So if I can get close enough, yeah, I can do that. Almost there. For a bit more patience. Yeah, he got stunned, which gave me an opportunity to get lots of hits in, and he was in a quarter. So if you can keep him from moving around a lot, you have an easier time of it. Nice. Couple more hits. There we go. You mentioned that you'd see the character, this character again. This is where we see him. With the real Rakshasa. In Red Boy. But we'll be meeting shortly.
大王明知我不得不言，可从那之后，脸都没露过，还多了个不归家的借口。
师姐，那老牛定是见不得这些，他能给你腾出此洞，又派金睛兽把守，已是给足了师父情面。
你千万要收紧嘴巴，若是再有他人晓得了此子来历，我们一家必有大难。
师姐放心，师父已让我来此做暗中协助。
So you get a little bit of an idea of the backstory.
好将他抚养成人，待这娃长大，灵山的那些血债，他便是最好的人证。
Well, things were fairly messy at the Celestial Court. So, with the secret area of Chapter 5 complete, we will now head towards the chapter boss. It's a bit of a hike, just so you know. So we're leaving the cave area that we went in that was protected by the cart. I guess we could again fast travel back to the shrine. Actually, I'm not sure it would take us there. It would probably take us to the last shrine we actually used, which was inside the cave. But then I guess we could use that to go back to this one. But, you know, by the time we figure all of that out, we'll be there. And then you're basically going back up the hill. Remember, we were going up the hill when the hill was covered by fire. And then the top takes bottom, bottom takes top ball thingy knocked the fire out. And the girl used the plantain fan, which gave us a clearer pathway, so we won't have fire to deal with, so we'll be able to go straight to the shrine. I guess we can call it the boss shrine, which we have not activated. So that would have been an option, to go to that area, activate the shrine, and then go to the cooling slope. And then when we finish things, we can just go directly there, but it's okay. There are not that many there are not that many enemies between here and there. It's a hike. These are all things we passed when we were coming down the hill. The rock boss will not be there because we defeated him. The mother of those lava worms won't be there because we defeated her. But these little minor rock bosses will reappear, will respawn. You can sort of tell where they are because the ground turns or glows red or orange, and then they pop up. They can't really harm you. You can see the Bull King, who's not in very good condition. It should be noted in the book Journey to the West, Bull King, like Sun Wukong, were executed many times. Beheaded. I don't know whether he was cooked, boiled in oil, and all that stuff that happened to Sun Wukong, but he definitely had his share of deaths as well. Okay, so we work our way up. We are getting close to the final shrine of chapter 5. The environment here is very different from the previous chapter environments, right? It's this way because of their son. I believe this is a fallen furnace crater, yep. So, I think we have everything equipped that we need. The cutscene is going to play out.
父亲可把那东西交还于他。此物一旦物归原主，哥哥自然死心。
And so should you die in the fight ahead, you will end up back at the shrine where you were just at.
咱们作死都死不干净啊！可惜来的不是时候。
父亲糊涂了吗？小女把天命人带来救你了。
是糊涂了，可眼没糊涂。你不是我女儿。
父亲此话从何说起？频频吃尽千辛万苦，寻了人灭了火，不就是为了回到父亲这里？
Lots of family drama.
早知把眼也戳瞎好了，免得见你作怪。
莫急啊，老畜生，一会儿就碎了。
This is Red Boy. The Bull King and Queen Raksasa's son.
没意思，真没意思，不如都杀了利索。
So I don't know what he did to his adopted sister, but he hid her away somewhere.
他不像你面上敬我，心里一点儿不惧。
原来如此，少不得要再把那小贱人抓回来，好好耍子一番。不过，眼下先把你们两个好兄弟烧成灰葬在一起，闲情雅致，时候多的是。
Like the theme of the chapter, he is a fire-based boss. This was a somewhat difficult fight. He has a big health pool. He moves around a lot. this move here is pretty annoying. Even when you think you can dodge them, you seem to get hit. So you take a lot of chip damage from these guys. If one of them hits you, it seems like it just throws you off from your ability to dodge the other ones. So mostly one at a time, and then at the end of that, it's two at a time. Probably would have been better for me to have the upper mana bat. So in addition to using the immobilize, I can immobilize him using that.
你这孙子，走到哪里，哪里就家破人亡。小儿虽一时落败，但精气未散，只怕不过半晌，还能站起来。
He's giving him the fifth relic.
我得来后，一直封在胃囊，无人知晓。我老了，什么都怕，怕战，怕死。怕老婆，怕儿子，所以我不敢吃。他来要，我更不敢给。狗屁天命！都是苦命，且莫信了这些方便，此番能否再修正果？全凭之前因缘造化。
Okay, so Red Boy wasn't really dead. And that's what the Bow King told the Destined one. And so now he's about to amp himself up to phase 2 as the Yaksha came. A much more difficult phase of the fight than the first one. Obviously still fire-based, but different moveset and different AoE. The good news is Bajie is back from wherever the heck he disappeared to help the fight. Yeah, the difficult part of this fight is that you can get stun locked he has these multiple move things, and if he gets stun locked, it's just very difficult to survive it.
牛哥，老朱来迟一步，对不住。臭小子，叔叔今日就带你父母执行家法。
The good thing, yeah, I'm still really bad at judging distance. The good thing about having Bajie is that he can also heal you. So, he's a miracle worker, but he can't heal you. If you're really, really low health and you get hit, you're still going to die. Let's go down standard pluck of mini. Get some damage in. He's got that move. But with pluck of mini, they can also immobilize him. And then he's got this move, which is pretty annoying. So if you end up getting stun locked, you could easily die in that move. I was trying to sort of back out of the distance, but it seems like it just goes on forever. Dangerous. Whenever he does the AoE move, the best bet is just get out of that. Because it will definitely hit you, I guess, unless you're in Cloud Step. Yeah, see, there's another one. Where he's focused on Bajie at the moment. Get a good hit in. Get some good easy damage. He's focused on my clone. Doesn't know where I am. Good hit. Go Stone Monkey because he was about to kill me. Okay. Yeah, this is one of those fights where you will likely die multiple times. But if you die after the red boy phase of the fight, you'll always start the fight with him.
家都不要了，把师兄的东西吐出来
！Bajie was about to unleash a little corporal punishment on him. Like the protective mom, Rakshasa appears. So where was she? She was out trying to get some help. Trying to conjure up some folks from the Celestial Palace, or Celestial Court.
这孩子是西方夜叉部仅剩的一缕血脉，身世之悲惨离奇，世间罕有。他现在已无还手之力。 若能放他一条生路，我罗刹女与大力王情愿潜心隐形，坐观星星，连同一对儿女，永驻火焰山。我夫妻两人。 甘心代他受罚。如果上仙不弃，这把宝扇 也一并送上。
有惊处有火，火
He
出
is
无
your
尽，
son's defiant to the very end.
仇不报，何来修行？
Part of it has to do with how they've been treated by the Celestial Court.
正是如今我们跪着的模样。
So he has one final act of defiance.
偏不让你们。
Very sad. Devastating for his parents. That mournful wail is so sad.
“熊皮，以戴罪立功，赐饮一对。”
My favorite
你替天行
animated
道，
segment of the game.
耳朵拿去。王梅，你重振旗鼓，鼻子收好。
All of them are great, really, but this is my favorite.
你忍辱负重，舌头留下。牛魔，你大义灭亲，最是不义。他的身子留给你了。
You'll see, obviously, the main character is Old King, Sun Wukong. You'll also see a number of characters from the novel, Journey to the West. Folks from the Celestial Court.
你这老牛，真是晦气到家了。
Sun Wukong and the Bull King were like brothers.
就没选对过一次。
But one could argue that he got the Bull King into trouble by attacking the Celestial Court. You know, trying to tear apart the Celestial Palace. So, I don't know how I feel about that. So, if you read the novel, you can sort of see how this could happen. When you try to depose a king or an emperor, the end result, if you fail, usually is your own defeat. So you get a little bit more of the backstory of the Bull King and Rakshasa.
我们本可当这一切从未发生，你我从此两地分居，各自清静。
老匹夫，
They just wanted to be, at least she just wanted to be left alone. She just wanted them to just be a family. Instead,
孩儿本不想与你
Sun
们
Wukong
断
came into their
亲
lives and complicated things.
若还念以死骨肉情分，就该把那东西交付于我，放我回去给同宗报仇。
这把扇子送予那猢狲，叫他退兵去吧。
你弟我教训了，你儿我送人了，今日你婆娘那柄扇子我也要定了。任师傅修正过，只有这条路是留给我们走的。长兄还不明白吗？
猴哥，那老牛的小娘子也被我一耙处死了。
Bajie being incorrigible as ever.
是个玉面离情。
That really set the Bow King off. It's King Li and his son, Prince Neja, reportedly Erlang Cheng's brother and father, at least based on Investiture of the Gods, another book written from the same time period. You see the Heavenly Kings, who we saw at the beginning of the game, and we'll see later in the game. The Bow King's execution. But note that the Bow King was executed many times. And so we know that he lived after that because we're in chapter 5. It takes place after this happens. Very sad.
我一直以为攒了功德，入了仙班，他们就会放过我，也会放过你们。原来我这样的人，只怕独自活着便是罪过。长兄，照顾好妻儿，我死后画的东西，碰不得。
And that concludes chapter 5. Penultimate chapter
夜叉毕竟是8部战力之首，
in the story of fighting with
纵然
Wukong.
铁打的筋骨死个百十回也合情理。可那小鱼儿小车子，为何也打得这般狼狈？风风火火，云里雾里，你所见即是你所愿。若不是心神不安，怎会被自作聪明的孩儿所骗？急之亦不暇，缓之或自明。下次没了悟能，你还能悟空吗？
Okay, so we've unlocked the 5th relic. Meaning there's one more to go, and we will begin tackling that in chapter 6 when we return. Chapter 6 is the final chapter of Fight with Wukong. The Destined One's journey is about to come to an end. Thank you guys for joining me, and we'll see you soon. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and we will take on the remainder of the chapter, the remainder of the game, when we return next time. See you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.